Hey everybody, in this video I'll be taking a look at contraband items in Starfield, how to manage them if you come across some of these items, how you can sell them, and a couple other tips that will hopefully help you deal with and understand this particular aspect of the game. So starting off, just kind of quickly covering what contraband items are if you haven't found these yet. I've got a couple in my captain's locker here, so we can open that up. And I've got some black market antiquities, and I've got some mech components, both contraband items. When you find these, it'll kind of notify you that they are contraband items. It's also got this little icon here. And you can see they're fairly valuable items, but it's not so straightforward as just landing on a planet and going to a store or whatever and selling them. As kind of the name implies, they're black market items, etc. So we'll kind of cover all of that aspect of it. I found these personally at a mining camp in a expert level chest. I picked the lock, and that's where I found them. So I imagine there's other places that you'll come across these, but that's where I found these ones. So kind of starting off, the first thing that's going to be the most obvious is that if you try and land on a planet, you're going to get scanned. So if you've been wondering why every time you go to a main planet and they scan you every time, you have to go through this whole song and dance where it's like, you're fine. Well, if you have contraband items, that's not going to be the case. So I'll kind of demonstrate what happens here if you do have contraband items on your ship. Alright, so let's try and go to a planet with contraband on our ship. And it doesn't matter if it's like on your personal inventory or on the ship somewhere. As long as it's on the ship somewhere, it's going to count towards having contraband. So let's go to Alpha Centauri. And again, this is only for planets where they scan you. So if you like go to a moon or a dead planet or something like that, you're not going to have to deal with this. But basically anywhere where you'd actually want to try and sell this stuff, you're going to get scanned. So let's go here and see what happens. So we've arrived, and oh no, we're getting scanned, and you can see in the middle of the screen there's that chance to evade scan at 0%. So we're basically screwed no matter what. There's nothing we can do. They detected our contraband, so we have to accept their hail. It'll go through dialogue telling you they've scanned contraband on your ship. And basically at this point you have two options. You can either stand down and get arrested, or you can attack and try and fight your way out. So standing down leads to going to jail. You'll lose your items, and then I think you have to like pay a fee to get out of there. There's also the option, which I was presented with, which was to join the UC SysDef faction, and you can then join that, and that'll lead to a whole quest line of missions. I haven't gone through that process yet, but basically it's like you can join the faction, and we'll waive the fee. We won't penalize you or anything, but then obviously you have to decide to join that faction. The other option, again, is to attack. And that's obviously going to lead to all sorts of shenanigans here with all these ships starting to attack, and there's going to be repercussions there. So I haven't successfully or tried to successfully fight my way out, but I'm sure you can do that too. Alright, so now we're back in safety. We're not getting attacked. We're not going to jail or anything like that. We're just out in space with our contraband items. And you might be feeling kind of like trapped, like, well, now what do I do? I can't go to any planets with this stuff on me. I don't know what to do. And the most straightforward way is just to sell it at the Trade Authority. Unfortunately, most of those are located on planets where you need to get scanned, but there is one out there that does not require scanning, and that is at this location called the Den. So this is located, if we look at our map here, in the Wolf system, right off this Tithonia planet, and that is between Sol, Alpha Centauri, and Narion. So here's the Wolf system, right in the middle of that. And once you get there, you can dock at the Den, and we can go in to the Trade Authority to sell these items. Once inside, it's a pretty straight shot to where the Trade Authority is. Here's this guy. So these guys will buy contraband items from you. You can talk to them, go through the dialogue,
yes, of course.
and then you can switch to your sell inventory and bring up our contraband items. So you're not going to get sort of full value, so we can sell these for 7,600 credits, and then you can sell these ones for 7,000. For this one, I honestly don't know what this means, but for this particular one, it says you get less than the items that's worth. I don't know why that one is showing that message and the other isn't. Maybe there's some other place you could get a better deal, but anyways, for the purpose of just like getting rid of them and getting some credits for it, you can quickly come here and sell those, and then you can go land on a planet where you need to get scanned. Now looking at the next aspect of this, which is how do I keep the contraband on my ship and bypass the whole scanning thing and kind of evade and get away with it. That leads into the concept of shielded capacity for your ship. So if we open up our ship menu, this is the ship I'm currently using, and on the left under the ship overview metric, under the cargo, there's this number called shielded capacity, and you can see right now that's at 0 for this ship. So that's why when we went to that planet originally, we had a 0% chance of evading the scan. So you need to increase that number in order to increase your odds of evading the scan. And there's two ways to kind of go about doing that. One, you can find or buy a ship that just has shielded capacity by default already, or you can go to a ship technician and buy a new cargo hold that has shielded capacity. However, that's not as straightforward as it sounds, because most ship technicians are not going to have that for sale. There's one particular that you want to go to, which I'll show. But going back to the ships that kind of have it by default, one of those is the Razorleaf. And I actually have a video of how you can find this ship. It's part of the Mantis mission, so if you don't have this, you can check that out. If you do have this ship, however, if you already have a ship that has shielded capacity, it's really just a matter of transferring your cargo over to that ship, using that ship, and that'll help you evade the scan. So if you want to go the route of buying a new cargo hold for your existing ship, this is the place you want to be. It's called the Red Mile. If we look on our map and back out, it's on Parima 3, which is in the Parima system, and kind of looking at the other systems in relation to that, we've got Alpha Centauri over here, there's Sol, Olympus, Vol 2, and then Parima. So that's where this is at. Go to Parima 3, and then there's a marker for the Red Mile. So you're going to want to travel there and head inside. Once inside, you got this guy doing, it's their own business. And then right in this front door is where the technician is going to be. So you can talk to him, again, dialogue, etc. All right, so now we're at the point where we can actually go and view and modify our ships.
Yeah, sure.
So we go into that menu, we go into Ship Builder, look at what's for sale, and if we scroll over to cargo, you can see now there's options here at this particular location where we have shielded cargo options. So you just want to buy one of those options. You can see on the left how much shielded capacity it has, and then you want to attach that to your ship, and then suddenly your ship is now going to have shielded capacity for your contraband cargo. And then finally, just one other option. If you don't really want to sell it right away, you don't really want to go through the process of getting a ship with shielded capacity, you can also use an outpost for temporary storage as well. So if you don't have one already, you could go just to like a random planet or moon that doesn't require scanning and just sort of create a quick outpost. So we'll put one up here real quick, and then under, I believe it's, there's storage there, but I think under decorations, yeah, so under decorations you could create a storage box and then put it in a storage box if you want to go that route as well, just sort of as a temporary place where you don't want to have to deal with it. You could do this as well. So wrapping things up, just kind of showing you a successful scan bypass. I've switched over to the Razorleaf, which again has that shielded capacity, and now let's try and go back to where we first started, which was Alpha Centauri, and see if we can have a little bit better luck this time. So we'll go to the planet again with a ship that has shielded capacity. Same contraband is in my cargo hold, and we'll see what the outcome is this time. So here we go, we're getting scanned again, but however, this time you see I have a chance to evade scan of 58%. So it's still not a guarantee, we could still technically get caught, but as you can see here, so let's load and try again. Alright, round 2, let's see if we get better luck this time. Alright, there we go, that's better. So now we're free to just land on the planet or do whatever we want. We've basically got a free pass. So it's also important to note that the items have to actually be on your cargo, so you can't have it on your personal inventory. It won't count as the shielded capacity, so make sure that it actually is in your ship's cargo when you're doing this. But anyways, so now we could land on this planet, we could go to our storage down there and store it or sell it at a trade authority, etc., do whatever we want basically. So anyways, that's kind of the general gist of contraband items and how to manage them and sell them and all that good stuff. So hopefully this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and we will see you later. Bye.